Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. As always, huge massive thank you for the support. So I did get two of the luxury topper sets from the Moonlight Fairies, which is a recent kit that was brought out by Hunkydory, and it's this beautiful black foiling onto these stunning backscapes really, and even then you've got that beautiful foiling with the fairy black foiling. So I thought I'd make a couple of cards with this just as a little break from Christmas. I seem to have been doing Christmas cards since June, and I don't think I've really made a Halloween card, and that was it really. Everything else has been Christmas, so it's nice to think about something else for a change. And I did need to do a birthday card, so I'm hoping that one of the cards I make today will be okay for that person. It's one of my sister's friends, so I'm hoping that will be okay. Not going too complicated today, so it should be nice and easy to follow along if you want to. Okay, so I've had to use a piece of A3, and I've cut a piece which is 6 inches by 14. Now if you're like me and your trimmer only goes up to 12, what I generally tend to do is pop it on this mat, mark it at 14, cut it, then I have to score it at the 6, and then I can pop it in and cut it again. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard and we'll do the last little bit of scoring. So the short side is the back, so I'm going to bring in our little tool, and we're just going to make ourselves a little step. So I'm scoring at 1 and 2. So if I turn this the right way around, finish that down and fold those over, so we've just got that little step there. Now if you haven't got a free card, what you can do is just do a normal 6 by 6 or thereabouts what you do. And then just cut a piece which is 2.5 inches by the 6. Just score at 1 and 2, and then you should have ½ an inch left over, which you can use to glue onto the back. And you can either glue it on, let me show you actually. I've got a little piece of spare, so let me just show you how I would do it if I was doing it. I'm not going to stick it on, but if I can just grab a little piece of spare white card, here we go. So let's say for example, is this 2.5? Oh look, that's perfect. So I'm just going to chop that off. So this is just scrap card that I would use to print sentiments on anyway. So what I would do would I would be scoring at 1 and 2, and then we've got ½ an inch left over. Give it a really good burnish down, and then let's put it on the other side. So let's pretend we're doing it this way. You've got a couple of options. So you can either put your glue on the inside there and pop that on like so. So then you've got this style card. Or if you put your tape on the back and then stick it onto the front like so, when you put your layers on, that's going to hide this join more. Okay, and you may have a little bit on the sides that you see, just because obviously the layers I do, I mean you may want to do your layers to the exact size, but if you're doing the same as me where you just take a little bit off each time, if you don't like that little lip, just pop a little bit of ribbon along there. It'll be in the back and people will think you've gone that extra mile just to pop that on, but you've got that option if you haven't got the A3 cardstock. Okay, I'm quite lucky in that I have, so that is easy enough for me to do. Okay, so as I said before, it's going to be like a card with a step, so it will be that shape when we finish. So let's bring in our trimmer, and for this first one I'm going to be using this blue topper. So the backing that goes with this is this beautiful scene. You've got a little toad or a frog there, and the dragonflies in the dark, a couple of butterflies up there. So before I do that, what I did was I picked out some blue glitter. I think it's more of a paper. I'm not sure if this is that horrible sticky back one. It may well be. Let me just check that. Yeah, so this is that sticky paper that I've got. So this came from Crafter's Companion, and it's not horrible. It's just I like the security when I'm putting a layer down of knowing that if I use my all-purpose glue, I've got a little bit of wiggle time to get it into place. When it's sticky back like this, if you're using the sticky back, which I will have to, you've got one shot really at getting it down. And touch wood, the ones that I have used on my channel so far have come out all right. But it's always going to be that one day when it all goes completely wrong. Hopefully it's not going to be today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut this to, for this piece here, it's going to be our normal 6x6 size. So I need to cut a piece that's 2 notches under the 6 and 2 notches under the 6. And I picked this blue because I think it kind of picks up those blues in the water. And since a lot of this is green, it does separate that green as well. And then we want a piece for the step. So hopefully that should be 2 notches under the 6, and it's not. So let's just go ahead and trim that up. And then we want a piece that's going to be 2 notches under the 1. Stay still. And then hopefully that should be nice on there. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, so obviously all of these bits is glitter, so we are going to be saving that for another time. Then we're going to come on to this base. So I want to go 4 notches under the 6 to start with. And then I want to take my piece, which is going to be 4 notches under the 1. And my trimmer has got numbers on this side up to 2 inch. So I'm just going to line that up with the 4 notches under the 1. I'm just going to chop that frog off. Okay, so just grab my ruler. I'm sure that's about 8 inches across, isn't it? 8.5. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, how much was my frog over? So it was quite a bit. So I'm going to take let's take I'm going to just take a chunk off there just below that little island. And then if I take that to those 4 notches, I think we should just about get the frog in. Okay, so my thought was that this frog was going to be on the bottom there, looking up. Okay, and then we can turn this around and I can go 4 notches under the 6. And I'm choosing to do it that way because I really want more of this at the top. You've got a little bit of decoration there, but that's really just pitch black. So this is going to go onto there. We've got our little bit of lake. It will fall down a little, so you will see the little bit of lake behind it as well. And that was my thinking there. Okay, I'll reel it back so I can find it next time I need it. Okay, so here is where we need to be steady with this glitter. Okay, so what I want to do, just going to take a little bit off the corner, hold it back, and then what I can do is get this lined up. I am going right down to the fold on this one, just so I've got a nice border at the top and it is all even. So if I pop that down, I should now be able to come behind and smooth that down nicely without getting any horrible bubbles. And we are a little off, you can see that it's just a little bit off, but that is not a bad job at all. Okay, and then we're going to come in with this piece here. Again, I'm going to use my all-purpose glue, the Clout All-Purpose. I am just going to be careful near the edges because this is still a product that has glitter on, so it will have a coating. And I'm also just going to do my usual thing of putting some tacky glue in the corners so that that sticks nice and firm. It's just my little backup plan really. So we're popping that on. Nice border. Okay. Now we have to do the same on here. So again, just taking a bit of backing off, folding it back. I think for this one what I'm going to do is just fold it down first of all. You can go along, smooth it. I did a better job with that one than the top bit, but there you go. I am happy with that, so we can fold that back. We'll just put a little bit of all-purpose down the centre and some tacky on the ends. And we'll just pop that in, get that into position. Okay, so I think it's going to be difficult to show you, but yeah, you can see there. So you've got that sort of, what I was hoping for would be that dimension going back onto the lake. That was my thinking anyway when I sort of saw it. Okay, so we can pop this beautiful fairy out, and she's a grown-up fairy, she's not a kiddie fairy, although I think children would like her as well, but she's definitely a mature, not old, but you know, a grown-up fairy. And then I don't think I want, lost in imagination, I think I want many happy returns. There we go, that one and that one somehow to go on. So these bits I haven't really figured out. I've figured out the card, I've figured out how I wanted the backing to go and which topper I was going to use, but I haven't thought about how I want to put them on. So let's have a little play about and see where we get to. So ideally I want to be staying within that framing. If that looks too culty maybe, but it's quite nice. I don't want to cover all of that up. And there is the other little topper is for a birthday is more green, so I think it really needs to go with the other kit. Let's try moving that around. So let's take our square, let's put our fairy like so, and then maybe do it the other way. Let's see. Sorry, going quiet here. Let's bring in that smaller topper. I think it's going to be way too green, but like I say, it's more of a lime green which goes with the other one. And the other one's a good luck. Sorry, excuse me. The other one's quite big as well. wonder what would happen if I cut this down. So let's say if we cut that off there. I think we could. And then mat it onto some black. Have I got any black gloss? I haven't got black gloss. We have that bit of black gloss. That might look a little weird if we... Okay, let's see. So I have got some black glitter here. Just going to use on another card. Oh, we could come in with that blue. Sorry about this. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing is cutting off the black gloss. I know, sacrilege. Just to shorten that down, and then putting that onto some black glitter rather than the black gloss, because I haven't got any black gloss. If I had any black gloss or black adorable scoreable, I would use that, but I haven't. So I'm thinking, if I cut all of this black gloss off and cut that down, then mount it onto this black glitter instead, then I can use that as a smaller one. Okay, so let's do that. So let's be brave. So all could go horribly, horribly wrong, but I'm going to start. First cut is the hardest. And then we've got our happy returns with our butterfly in the end. Now it's going to be a bit of a tape job to make sure this stays in place. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that that black line is on the cutting point of my trimmer. And a bit of tape to keep it still. And hopefully we can get this sort of straight all the way around. This is the bit I was most worried about, cutting that black off, because obviously you've got with the trimmers, that guard means you can't hold it so very close. I could bring my old caterpillar in. I don't want to do that because I'm thinking about selling that because I don't use it. Right, so I'm hoping this tape will do the trick. I think it pretty much has. We have got a tiny little echo of it at the top. That is fine. Actually, we've got that there. We could use that. Which should we go? Black or glitter or? Go do that glitter more. Okay, so it's going to be impossible to measure this. So what I'm going to do is just pop that on. Just get that top point where I think I've got an even amount all the way around. Just get that quick trim down. And then again, this side. So the other thing you can do is mark it with a pen or a pencil if you want to. I think about there we might have to take another wee bit off, but we will see. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so I think this is going to fit my card a bit better. So let's go back to our design then. So originally we liked it over there, didn't we? We've got our little sentiment, which we could come up here, I think maybe that's on there, and then we've got a bit of space for some lovely, let's just pop that down, oops, and it's going to be easier to visualize it. So I don't really like having trapped space, but sometimes if you put something in that space, and I do have a couple of things I can put there. I did cut some little raspberries, I was going to say butterflies, beforehand, so we could always go with those in that space. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. Okay, so now let's have a little think about how we want to raise this up. So is that going to be right? Okay, so this might be a bit of a labour of love. I think that's quite a thin frame. So these are super thin Hunkydory 1mm pads. So I'm just going to raise this a little, just set it back from that back. Oh, there's something else I want to do as well, I just thought of. So I'll just finish doing this and then we'll do that quickly. So you know how sometimes I like to mess around with my backing card. I mean, it's beautiful as it is, there's no denying that at all, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of splatter with some of my sparkle overlay pen, just to add that those little drops of well, sort of magical essence, if you like, you know, a bit of, you know, a bit of sparkle. Really, if there's magic going on, you've got a fairy, there's going to be magic. So let's just grab that. It should be quite juicy. So I'm going to move those out of the way just so I don't get that on anything else. And I'll grab a bit of kitchen roll. There we go. Move those out of the way. And I'll use this is quite fine spatter. If you wanted something a bit more in your face glittery, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that, you might just be able to see some dots there, but they will dry and just give a very gentle sparkle. So those. So I am going to come in now. And that was over there. So we'll take these backs off and hopefully those will have dried off. Might grab my heat gun and just give it a quick little blast. Yeah, so if you don't want to use the or you don't have a clear overlay sparkle pen, if you've got any other sprays from Creative Expressions, I know you guys in the States have got a load of various products that give a sparkle spray. Tim Holtz does some as well. Crafter's Companion have some different sparkle sprays as well now. I'm not sure if they do a clear one, but gold would be nice with this as well. Silver. I think even you could get away with white because you've got these white dots anyway. Mind if you feel like just pop it on. Okay, so I'm just getting these pads off. It looks like it's pretty much dried. I'm nearly there with these pads, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of tacky glue on, just as I always do. It's my little comfort blanket to give myself a little minute or so to get that into position. So we're coming over this side. I think we were about there. There. Yep, I think we are golden. Okay, so for these bits, what I'm going to do is use a thicker Crafter's Companion pad. So I'm probably only going to need 2, I think. And I might just do a little half of one for that bit on the other side of this border. Okay, so now we're getting there. Now we are. Okay. Okay, and then this one here. So we have to be a bit careful with these pads. So and then go all down that side, I think, quite safely. I think I'm just going to put a half of one on the bottom there, just to give that support. Okay. So we're going to pop that one, a little bit of tacky glue again. Looks like it's a little bit blocked up. I'll stick the pin down in a second. Go with that around about there. Pop those out the way. Okay, so the camera decided to cut out a little bit of it. So I did go back and cut out a little bit more. So what I've cut out is just me toying with different gems to decide which ones I was going to use. In the end, I did decide on these silvery ones, and I've also bought in these little butterflies, which came from this Crafter's Companion die. Now, I don't think this die is available from Crafter's Companion anymore, but I'm sure Hunkydory did something very similar not so very long ago. So I will have a look, and if I can find a link, I'll put it in the description. But they just cut out these little tiny little butterflies, and I've done that in black glitter paper. Okay, so let's get this card finished. So I'm going to put 2 of my little butterflies there, and I have just given them a little bit of bend, but not too much, because I don't want the white underneath to be seen, because they are on a white sort of paper card, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then we can go one there, a little tiny one there, we'll go there as well. So this big one I want to put here, And then we've got a smaller one which we'll have going that way. And then we've got a teeny tiny one that you're hardly really going to see going there. Okay, now if I open up these tiny little gems, what I want to do just on this big one, just pop some little bits of blue down, and then I'll pick up these gems, get them the right way. Just going to add them onto this one butterfly just to give him or her a little bit of movement. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and do it with all of them. I think you'd need smaller gems for this other one, these other ones though. So just pop in. Oh, sorry. One looks like quite a big gem. Let me just grab a smaller one. It's better. Okay, and then just to finish, actually I think I will go with that size. Just going to put 3 in this corner. Oops, all dropsy now. And I picked these gems because they showed up against this background the best out of all of the gems that I have. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way. And they were gems that came from Temu. So, oh, that butterfly is flying away. Stay put. Okay, so that is the finished card. All it needs now is a little insert to go inside and an envelope. Like I say, if you wanted to go further, more glitter, especially on this moon or around her, would be perfect, but I'm not going to do that today. Okay, so I'm going to get, I don't need any time actually to get set up for the next one. I can go straight into it. So I'm just going to grab, first of all, a piece of A4 card. And I'm going to cut this down, if I open that out, to 8 by 6. So I am going to do just a tentfold card, but the top is going to be coming over the top of it. So I can, now let's get that scored before I do my trimming, because it really helps me to see what I am aiming for with my layers when I'm cutting them down. Okay, so this is going to be at the 4-inch mark. So we've got essentially a 4 by 6 card. So I could have used, actually thinking about it, I could have used one of those A6 cards that I've got, but I am going to be using it that way up. Okay, so let's bring the trimmer back in, and I am going to be using black glitter for this one because it's going to show up really well against the green. I mean, look at that, fantastic. Okay, so we need a mat that's going to be 2 notches under the 4 and 2 notches under the 6, and that is going to fit nicely onto there like so. Put that to the side for a second. And then I'm going to have to come in at 4 notches under the 6 that way, and then 4 notches under the 4. So again, we can make another one of these cards. If you've got a little book with fairies that are similar, this would be perfect. So that's going to go onto there like so. And then I'm going to bring in the actual topper, which is this beautiful lion one. And I want to make, let's see, actually, can I do it from this? I actually can. So I want to make a little bit of a mat for it. So this topper is 2 3/4 by 4.2. So 4.2, so we're going to go to 4.4. No, I don't think so. So that's 2 3/4. Let's just try cutting that at 3. Let's see, you might need to just take a tiny bit off the end. Okay, and then I want to give this a black glitter as well. So that is 4.5. So 4.5. 2 notches. And then that is just over 3. So if I go to 3.3 and 3 notches, fingers crossed, we should be there. Okay, nice. That's going to go above there. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And then obviously we've got our little sentiment that will go in there somewhere. So let's go ahead and get this stuck down. So this is Hunkydory Diamond Sparkles, so we don't have to worry that that's self-adhesive. I can just use all of my lovely normal glues. And I'm going to pop that down. Make sure that's nice and even. Okay. And then again, just a little bit of glue string. And what I would say, and I think I do say more or less every video, with the all-purpose glue, it is worth giving it a really good press down just to make sure that glue makes contact, because I think sometimes if you've got those pockets where the glue hasn't made contact when it dries, because it dries so hard, sometimes it can leave like a bubble. And I think when I've had problems in the past with cardstock cracking, which to be honest has only ever happened one, and it was with paper, and I think it may have been because I didn't press down hard enough. You know, I didn't make sure that that glue was adhered. So but like I say, the only time I've had that happen is with paper and not cards. So but it's worth just saying, just make sure you give that a good press down, make sure that that makes contact. Okay, so again, just give that a really good press down. And then I'm going to come in with these Crafter's Companion pads, probably somewhere between a 4 and a 5 millimeter in height. And this and the sentiment are the only dimension really on this card. So I want for this card to still fit into a 6x6 envelope. So I'm going to be trying to get that lift to make sure that that still happens for me. Oh, tacky glue, nearly forgot. Could have been disaster there. There we go. I'm just going to pop that in there, so we've got a nice little bit of lift. Okay, so if I pop this down, we know that's 4, so I can go anything up to there. I don't think I want to go that high. I think I probably only want to be around about there. And we could decide where we want that. Maybe there. Actually, we'll come down about 1 inch, so it would go in a 5. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my little set square ruler. I don't know where this came from. It's actually one of Mum's. So let's just put that way around. What I want to do is try and get that sort of straight to the card. So I'm going to pop some all-purpose glue on the back to around about halfway. And I'm going to pop that on. So I am just over about 1 inch above the top, but that matte layer is straight, so that just needs to set. And I can use this as well for popping this on, but I'm going to go a little lower with these. I'm going to go with these, no, not these because they've run away from me, these Hunkydory ones. So these are about a 1mm. I'm going to have to just cut those in half, a bit bigger than what I need in terms of length. So let's just put those on there. Oh, feels quite nice. And then we just have to think about gems. So I don't know if I want to go with black or green with these. So let's grab those tweezers. I think I want to be about there. So, not like me to make sure it's straight, but I found that ruler the other day. I have used it a few times, but I haven't really been that clued up on how to use it. So I've got those black gems. I've got some green ones, or we have got sparkle ones. I haven't got any black sparkle. I did think maybe black pearls might be nice because they always sort of add a little bit of luxury. So let me just, bear with me, I'm just going to get those out. Okay, so what I decided to do was to go with these clear gems instead. So I thought they're kind of like little dewdrops. You know, she's laying on the grass. Could be the morning, could be the evening. So I'm going to pop 3 on this side, and I don't want to go too big with them. So let me grab my picky. So I've got 1, 2 and 3, and then I think down here maybe 2. Yeah, these are actually, I'm going to go with these medium sized ones, not those huge ones. That will be better. Yeah, definitely. And obviously the glue under there will dry clear. Okay, so let's put those into there. I'll clear those up in a second. Okay, so the last thing I want to do, and this is pretty standard for me sometimes, is add a little bit of glitter. I'm going to use proper glitter this time, not like last time with the other pen. And this time I'm just going to do it to the topper. So I'm coming in with a Quickie glue pen, so available from most good craft stores. So just where those little white dots are, just putting a little dot on. The other thing you could use, if you've got the Crafter's Companion foil pens, you could then come in with any foil of your choice. Just add those. Add foil instead of glitter. So I'm going to be using the Glamour Dust, the Deco Art Glamour Dust, just my favourite glitter. It's an iridescent one, so it generally tends to pick up whatever colour is behind. Okay, so got that there. Just pop that back in. There. And that's just a sheet of copy of paper that I used. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, probably should leave it a little longer before I dust it with my brush, but I'm just going to go super gentle across just to take that excess away. And you should now be able to, yeah, I think it's picking up that sparkle, isn't it, just about. So, and that's obviously going to stand like so on a shelf, mantelpiece, wherever you put your cards. So those are the 2 cards that I've done today. So when I come back, I am going to come back with this same kit with these exact same bits that I've been using. So I've got, let me move those over a little bit. So I've got this piece left. I've got this big topper with the fairy with the book. I've got Good Luck. I've got Get Lost in Your Imagination. Open the Door to a World of Magic and Adventure, Good Luck. Just going back to cutting down sentiments there. If you wanted to send someone a Get Lost card, you totally could do that. It would be a bit mean, but you could totally do that. So I've got the cut off bit from that, which is that beautiful fairy. We've also got that lovely moonlight scene with another frog there and the dragonflies. So I will come back and make another couple of cards with that. And then after that I'm going to use the other little topper one, which is more of a purpley colour. And after that I have some rainbow flowers ones as well. So I'll do those. And then when I've done those, I'm going to go back to Christmas, probably the Blockbuster, I think. Although I did find, although I haven't got the pad, I did find Penguin Party, the original kit. So I may do some cards with that first of all, but we will go back to Christmas. But we've got plenty of not Christmas things coming up for a little while anyway, just in case you're getting sick of it. Okay, well that's it from me for today. So thank you so much for watching. You know, just exactly the same as what everybody else says on their videos, you know, please do think about liking or subscribing. For me, liking is more important than subscribing, really, because if you like my video, YouTube then offers it to more people to see, so it does help grow the community. But if you would like to subscribe, that would be fantastic as well. But thank you for watching. As always, take good care of yourselves. Happy crafting. Bye.